Donald Trump has signed a formal order imposing steep tariffs on imports of steel and aluminium to the United States. He was surrounded by American steelworkers as he signed the proclamation. They believe this move will protect their jobs. But there are concerns that it could also provoke a global trade war. Well, Sky's US correspondent Mark Austin is in Washington for us tonight. So, Mark, the threatened tariffs are signed off. So what impact are they likely to have?
Well, it's already had an impact. He's spooked the markets. He's upset friends and foe alike. His top economic advisor has left. He's split the Republican Party. But despite all that, Donald Trump has gone ahead. And as you say, he signed these proclamations within the last hour, slapping these tariffs on steel and aluminium imports. The figures were widely trailed: 25% on steel, 10% on aluminium. He said in the White House, if you don't have steel, you don't have a country. This is what he had to say within the last hour.
Today, I'm defending America's national security by placing tariffs on foreign imports of steel and aluminum. We will have a 25% tariff on foreign steel and a 10% tariff on foreign aluminum when the product comes across our borders. It's a process called dumping, and they dumped more than at any time on any nation, anywhere in the world. And it drove our plants out of business, it drove our factories out of business. And we want a lot of steel coming into our country, but we want it to be fair, and we want our workers to be protected, and we want, frankly, our companies to be protected. By contrast, we will not place any new tax on product made in the USA. So there's no tax if a product is made in the USA. You don't want to pay tax? Bring your plant to the USA. There's no tax.
Tariffs will take effect in about 2 weeks' time, which is time for allies of America, and you think of Canada, Australia, and the EU, crucially, to go to the White House and say, look, you know, we want exemptions. And America is prepared, says Trump, to give exemptions to military allies in the interests of national security. So the EU could easily come under that. But that's the theory. In practice, it may be very different. And the potential remains, of course, for a trade war. The Chinese, at whom this is largely aimed, have said they will take reprisals. The EU has named the American imports that it will slap tariffs on. So there is still the potential for a trade war and for this to spiral out of control. Why is Donald Trump doing it? Well, quite simply, he's got an eye on his core support, the people, the jobless in these Rust Belt towns where the steel industry is decaying, where steel plants are closing. He made a promise during the campaign to those workers. He said, I will bring your jobs back. And he thinks this, protectionism, higher tariffs, is the way to do that.
Thanks, Mark.